Hi, welcome to In Charge, where you get the news from the source, from those in charge in their organizations, leaders from different industries who are making an impact in society today. I'm 𝐅𝐀𝐂𝐄𝐄, your host. Hello everyone, today we are with Carla May Leonor, Coach Anda del Rosario, and Dr. Fabi Cariño.
Hi everyone, I am Dr. Fabi Cariño. I am in charge of human resources for a shared service. Aside from that, I'm also in charge of conducting mental health programs and coaching programs. And I am also in charge of 𝐈𝐍𝐒 and Mind Your Mind.
Hi, I'm Anda del Rosario, and I am in charge of Coach Anda. What I do for my company is that I help leaders and teams level up and play a bigger game through executive coaching sessions and team coaching sessions.
Hi, my name is Carla May Leonor. I am an interior designer and I am in charge of the design division of Design Center of the Philippines. And I also run a creative tech startup called 𝐅𝐀𝐂𝐄𝐄 Collective, where we help creative enterprises build their global competitiveness.
Okay, so to everyone watching this, these three very empowered women before me are actually going to be giving a TEDx talk on November 15. Can you share with us where it's gonna be?
It's going to be at the Soler. It starts at 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. at night. And there's going to be a lot of interesting speakers that day, with the three of us included.
Okay, so we all know that TEDx picks the most interesting people to inspire its audience. So let's start with Carla. Can you tell us what you're pretty much going to talk about?
Well, it's going to be covering leadership in Industry 5.0. I'm going to be talking about how we proceed with working on projects with a multidisciplinary approach and creating an ecosystem really and how to implement it more successfully and integrating all of our expertise so that we can holistically approach the project successfully. Am I making sense? Yes.
Doc Fabi?
I am very excited to talk about my topic because it's a topic very relevant. And I'm going to be talking about mental wellness. And so I will be sharing my own journey and likewise some strategies when it comes to mental well-being.
Coach Anda?
Yeah, so I'm going to be talking about the power of our stories and the stories we tell ourselves, because if we're not aware or careful about the stories we tell ourselves, it affects the way we operate, affects the way we think, and also it affects our performance at work and even outside work as well.
Okay, so why do you think the three of you were chosen to speak in TEDx? What do you think is the most essential part of your message? Why do people have to hear it now? Let's start with Carla.
Well, currently I'm in an innovation space. This is basically an area where people do things differently, and that means that my approach to things also is non-traditional. But it would be really good to share that with a lot of people because we've seen that with the work that we've done internationally, this is the way to go. So I'm happy that TEDx saw the potential, and I'm very excited to share my experience and the built expertise that I've developed over the past few years.
How do you think your message would be able to help people in the audience?
Well, we focus on creative industries. And the creative enterprises now, they really need a lot of help, but there's a lot of space for growth. And I see that, when you're a creative, you don't usually look at things more collaboratively because you're focused on doing, you're focused on creating. So looking at the world around you and the people around you, the community that you surround yourself with, that's an enabling environment that can help you build a stronger, a better approach to doing things. So there's value in that multidisciplinary direction.
Thank you. Doc Fabi, how about you?
I think it's so important to talk about mental health and mental well-being. We need to address the stigma and the culture that we have of not bravely talking about it. So I believe that the global stage of TEDx is a great stage for me to talk about it and be the voice. And one of the things that I will be doing here is also showing my vulnerability because everyone has their story. Everyone can say that they go through ups and downs in their lives. And so I believe that this topic needs to be talked about, addressed, because it's not, it's the next, I would say it's the next pandemic. It's not just, it's not just a thing or a problem, but I think that we need to address it and talk about it. That's why I'm taking this opportunity to really open it up.
Doc Fabi, mental health, the topic of it, is thrown around a lot and spoken about quite generally in the public. What aspect of mental health do you wish we talked about more or touched on more?
I think we need to talk about how our culture, for example, should be enabling people to be speaking about it. The second thing that I want to highlight is the awareness of resources. Overall, yes, we have different topics with regard to mental health, a lot of that. But I think what we need to really talk about is how can we create more soldiers. So aside from mental health, I'm going to be talking about what are some solutions or what are suggestions in order for us to address this. And for me, I think it's not enough we know about mental health, but we need to know how to be able to speak to people with mental health conditions within our family, within our organizations. So I think what will make it different would be the solutions that comes with it. The I would say it's really a call to action that we need to take action on immediately so that we can address it ahead of time.
Thank you so much, Doc Fabi. Coach Anda, how about you? What is the urgency of your message?
Yeah, so a lot of people don't realize that they carry stories in their head, right? And these stories can be positive stories or negative stories, and that can stem from childhood. And because we are so used to them already, we don't know that that's dictating the way we are living our life. So it actually dictates the choices that we make. It dictates how we're waking up every day and living our lives every day. So I feel that if people understand the power of changing those stories and then making the negative stories into more positive ones and knowing where they came from, that can really help a lot of people. And in my work as an executive coach and a team coach as well, I've seen the change with so many of the leaders that I've helped, the teams that I've helped also, when they recognize the stories that block them or harm them. And it really changes everything about them, not just at work, but outside work as well. And like Fabi said, I think TEDx also is a place where we share our vulnerability, our own personal stories. So that's kind of difficult. So in the talk that I'll be giving, I'll be sharing my own stories and how I started to realize the power of those stories as it changed me and as it changed my clients as well.
Coach Anda, would you say that you can always find something positive in every story, even if it's a traumatic event?
You can. For me, for every story, it's an opportunity to grow, to learn. The most challenging stories that we have in our life, it's remembering what lessons is it teaching us and how are we able to also respond to it, because it's also our response that determines how far we can grow from it. But if we're afraid of it or if we see it differently, we will not allow ourselves to experience that growth. So the difficult ones are great opportunities to grow.
Thank you so much, everyone. Such inspiring women before me. So once again, it's going to be a TEDx talk on November 15 in Soler from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m., is it? And there's no streaming. So we can
no.
catch it online.
It's
So
not,
people
yeah.
really have to go there in person. How can they register? Do they need tickets?
They can go to all social media sites that we have. We have Manila TEDx on Facebook, and there's also one on Instagram. So there's a link where they can buy different levels of the tickets. But you know what? I'd like to invite everyone. This is one show that is worth watching. You will be watching several women, several empowered women who will be talking about topics on technology, leadership, legacy, all of these things that are needed nowadays. And of course, proudly Filipinos, a lot of Filipino women are going to be there. So I'd like to invite everyone to support us and likewise watch and learn from industry leaders and thought leaders.
Yes, so bring your notebooks with you because it's sure to be a day filled with self-improvement. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank
Thank you. Thank you.